guys, welcome back to another episode of The Mystical Maker, and in today's video, we are going to be making this awesome Boba Fett helmet. So, let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start off with a strip of cardboard that fits around our head. This strip should be good, and it should fit around our head quite nice with about an inch room. Build a little cross frame in there to kind of hold the shape of the roundness that you want while building it. Then we can cover it with 4 straps on the top to build a kind of cross section that'll hold the things that we add on to later. Once the cross frame is done, you can measure out with a piece of cardboard how big you want or how long you want your triangle. Make a big cardboard triangle, glue it in the middle, fit some cardboard pieces behind it, trace it out, and glue those in, and repeat the process. You can also add spikes if it's not turning out curved enough and round enough, but it all depends on your dome. You don't want it to be lopsided, and also, once you decide which side should be the front, you need to take those triangles that are on the side and cut a hole with a sharp X-Acto knife in it to make the bullet mark. Once that's done, we can build the kind of bottom piece and just put that on a big piece of cardboard. And we're building the cheap pieces using some templates. You can get these just about on every video that someone has. Basically, just use the templates, and you can modify them. Then you all just glue it into place. Now we can do the earpieces by cutting out around the shape, but with a little divot in the middle, and when you put that back together, it should be a nice shape and kind of sloping inward. Make a paper tube, cut it to the right size, glue that on, and then you can also glue a kind of triangular thing, and this is going to be the rangefinder for the helmet. Now we can add the detail back vent piece by just tracing it out on some cardboard. This cardboard doesn't have to be, or I prefer it to be cereal box cardboard. Then you cut all those out, glue them onto a thingy, and put a little edge on it, and then you just glue that onto your helmet, and you got the back vent piece. Now we can make the dome look smooth and shiny. You could use spackle, but I like to use some duct tape, and it gives it a nice DIY kind of look. Cut little divots in it, and duct tape the entire dome. Make sure to leave space for the dent. I didn't really do that. But basically, you just duct tape the whole thing, and it helps it to look more smooth. Okay, guys, so we have it all painted up here. It's not completely done, but it does look pretty good so far. Basically what I did was I covered up all the areas that should be red first, and then masked those off with some painter's tape. And then, so I did the front as well as this back little vent piece here. And then you spray a base coat of silver on top of that. Oops. Yeah, so a base coat of silver on top of that. And then you can take little pieces of painter's tape and just put them in certain blotch areas all around a helmet, so that you can spray it this nice shade of green. I don't have the exact shade with me right now. And basically once you spray green, you can take off all of the painter's tape, and you are done with the kind of base thing of it. Though we will add more detail and more paint onto. So for now, I'm just going to add more weathering and chipping using some acrylic. Now, like I said earlier, we're going to just use some acrylic silver. I didn't have a brush, so I just used some scrap craft foam. And you basically just want to put it in all the little blotch areas. You can look at reference pictures, but I didn't, so whatever. Okay, so we got a lot more weathering and silver stuff on there. We might do a second layer, but I'm currently waiting for it to dry. It looks pretty nice in terms of weathering. I'm going to paint this thing black. Okay, so you could use a Sharpie, also you could spray paint it. I started to do it with a Sharpie, but then realized that I had some black craft foam, so I decided to use that. Basically just cut it up to the right size, slightly bigger. You can add some detail and like a checkered pattern texture to it, and just glue it on there. Okay, you can also paint the pole silver. Once that's done, you can cut up some yellow paper and kind of add the little yellow line mark things by gluing them on. I use some double-sided Scotch tape as well as glue. And once you have that done, you can cut out a cereal box format of the earpiece and glue that onto the side that has the thingy, and you can glue that on, and then kind of ruffle up the thing with a black Sharpie marker, and also use some silver acrylic paint to kind of weather up everything a little bit more. I'm going to make this earpiece green, and also make these pieces here green by using a dark green Expo marker. And we're just going to transfer onto cereal box cardboard, color it all, and see how it looks. So we just took the templates for the cheek pieces and transferred them onto some cereal box cardboard, cut them out, and colored them green. Like that. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Now we can glue those on. I am giving them a second coat of Sharpie and weathering them with some silver paint. Basically blackwash them if you want. Just anything to weather it up as much as possible, because this helmet is supposedly really old. And then you can also just glue those pieces on. So we need to add one thing, and that one thing is going to be the visor. So let's get some, here, I'll use a box of animal crackers. This is just an empty box of animal crackers. You can then trace out your shape that you want the visor in. Normally just trace out like this square, and then measure it and keep on cutting it until you have the right shape. And then you want to cover it in Sharpie and glue that in. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, before we finish off this visor piece, I added a little targeting system, which is that green and red stuff back there. And we're actually going to take some more stuff. You could use black paper, but because I have it, I'm going to use some black craft foam. And I'm just going to cover this kind of bottom piece and a little bit on the sides so that it requires less Sharpie. Okay, so we're going to add the craft foam, and be careful not to glue it onto the middle because you can see that. So just glue it carefully onto the side and do the same for all sides, and then finish up all of the Sharpie. You can add some inside detail if you want. And you can also kind of sand down the craft foam, but basically once that fits, you can take it and piece by piece glue it in there. Okay guys, so the helmet appears to be all done. I might want to clean up the visor area. It kind of didn't do so well while I glued the visor in there. You can just do a better job gluing the visor in, but because of that, I'm going to have to cut off some areas like here and here to make it look more even, especially down here. Now if I just take my fingers, and when I snap them, all of these problems should be gone. And done. Okay, so now that we have the helmet and all the tools and it's all picked up and whatnot, it's montage time. So, here, let me take this off. So, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment down below if you built this and what you like about this build. And also comment down below, what do you think I should build next? Because sometimes I kind of want ideas. So if you comment down below what I should build next, then your idea might get picked and I will build it in my next video, possibly. So that's it for today's episode, and see you in the next episode.